Hey everybody, it is your girl Tasha Renee, and welcome back to my 30 days of Juneteenth celebration. That is right, you are going to get a double dose of Black excellence in Black history so we can get caught up this week and be ready for week 2 on Monday. So this week was titled We Familiar, and it's dedicated to some of the most familiar names in Black history. So on day 4, we covered Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and for this segment of day 5, I think it's only fair to cover Malcolm X. Now, I don't really remember learning much about Malcolm X in school except for he was violent, but they never told us what he did or why. So let's get into some interesting facts, starting with number 1. He was actually born Malcolm Little and not Malcolm X. So how did Malcolm Little become Malcolm X? Well, when he was locked up in prison, his siblings had actually converted over to the Muslim faith, and when they would go to visit him, they would talk to him about it, kind of convinced him that he needed to convert too. Then he got in contact with the head of the Nation of Islam, Mr. Elijah Muhammad at the time, who was also locked up for violating draft laws. After that correspondence, he was pretty much sold, and he started his work immediately. He wrote a letter to the governor of Massachusetts demanding that it be all good to practice the Muslim faith in prison. Now, once he got out, that's when he changed his name to Malcolm X, and not only that, he tripled the numbers of members in the Nation of Islam in less than a year. So dude was big things popping. So how does this newfound, member become so world renowned? Well, it all started on April 14th, 1957. There was a fellow member of the Nation of Islam by the name of Johnson Hinton who was a victim of police brutality. They beat this man so bad that he needed medical attention, but the police were like, no, we not going to give it to him, and they pretty much locked him up and threw away the key. So word got back to Malcolm X on April 28th, 1957, and he joined other members of the Nation of Islam and protested for Mr. Hinton to be released so he could receive proper medical care. And that's exactly what happened. Well, I guess Malcolm didn't think that that was enough and more needed to be done, so he sued the city of New York for police brutality. Yep, and this lawsuit made national headlines. Everyone was watching. Not only did he sue, but he won, and at the time it was the biggest settlement in history. So after he won, the FBI deemed him a key figure meriting significant surveillance. So they pretty much thought he was a threat and they needed to keep an eye on him. Now, his relationship with the Nation of Islam was not all grits and gravy. It was definitely up and down. He got kicked out more than one time. And not too long after he got kicked out the first time, there was a boxer by the name of Cassius Clay that went to seek Malcolm X for guidance because he had a big fight coming up in a week with another fellow boxer by the name of Sonny Liston. Now, Cassius Clay was not Muslim before he met Malcolm X, but he loved his work, he loved what he did, and he needed guidance. But by the end of that week, Malcolm X had him convinced, and Cassius Clay became one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. Yep, so as I did mention before, his relationship with the Nation of Islam was rocky, and he ended up getting kicked out a second time. And this time they asked him for everything back. We want it all back. He ended up starting his own organization. Let me get the name for y'all. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Gotta go to my... Okay, so... Yep, he founded his own organization, which was called OAAU, and it stood for the Organization of Afro-American Unity. This group was more into politics, where he got a chance meeting at a congressional event to talk to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and there is only one picture of them together at this meeting, and it was actually after this event on February 21st, 1965 was when he was assassinated, unfortunately, and he was killed by 3 members of the Nation of Islam. Now, for my creepy fact finders out there and conspiracy theorists, I got an interesting fact for you. So, Malcolm X was killed February 21st, 1965, and he was shot down by 3 of the members of Islam. He was 39. 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. also was assassinated, also at the age of 39. Kind of weird. But yeah, so those are some interesting facts about Malcolm X. I am thinking about doing a full-length video for him because there's a lot to his story that people don't know, and I'm completely fascinated with it. But I hope you enjoyed these random facts that I gave. Well, not random, but I hope you enjoyed these few facts that I just gave to you about him. I hope it encourages you to read up on him more. And I am going to be right back with our next person for day 6 and our second part of our double dose of Black excellence in Black history. I'll see y'all in a few.